Hey, you guys won't believe it. They're having a free concert over at the park. You want to go over to the park and watch the free concert?
Shh, be quiet. I just made level 5 on my game.
Yes, can you please be quiet? I just made another friend. Now I have 500.
Look, I just want to know if you want to go to the park, watch the free concert, and we can even go out for dinner afterward. How about that? Is anybody interested? Mom? Mom? Mother? Mommy? Mom! Mom!
Oh yeah, I just made another bonus round.
Yeah, I guess we can go. Just let me finish liking this cat video. Oh no, wait, Sharon asked me to check out something online for her. Maybe you can go with Lauren and bring me something back.
Wait, do you mean the park outside?
Of course.
There are way too many bugs outside. Mom, please don't make me go. I'm competing with Jamie to see who can reach level 10 first.
All we ever do is stay in this house. We never do anything together.
Really? I asked you to friend me online. That way we can hook up anytime. Then that would make 501 friends. Besides, we just watched the game with you last night.
You guys were already on your social media when I asked. And then you came in, you just watched me watch the game. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I forgot. Joe's coming over to hook up my surround sound in the man cave. Then we're going to watch the game together. So I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for letting us record you in your home to see what's really going on there. You guys seem very anxious and upset. What's going on?
Yeah, we're upset. You won't believe what happened. We got a real problem at home now.
Yes, we do.
All this mess with this internet, and Lauren, she was on the internet and got in touch with some crazy adult person.
What?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
So what was she doing?
She was on the internet, and we were at home when she was doing it, just sneaking around. And some crazy adult got in touch with her and been contacting her.
Really been contacting her on a regular basis?
Yes.
Okay, that's
And
great.
we only found out because a friend of hers, she actually told her friend's mother. And her mother came back and told us.
Wow, that was really a blessing that she came and told you guys. So on the video, we saw Lauren was very involved and she was saying she was playing a game. Do you think she may have been talking to that person then?
I don't know. We just found out, you know, from the friend's mom. And then we called the police, of course, hoping that they would help us. You won't believe this. One of the police tried to actually blame us for not being there, saying that we left her unattended and that we should know better. The other policemen were great and very helpful, but this one guy, it was ridiculous.
I'm just still upset because she told somebody other than me. I would just want her to trust me, and she didn't. So I'm happy that someone was told, but it could have been me.
It could have been, and I understand that feeling angry and frustrated. Did you feel a little guilty at all about that too?
Of course.
Okay.
You know, being in the same house and not knowing what our kids are doing, that just makes no sense. And I just feel like, you know, she was sneaking around and just didn't want to share with us.
Okay.
It's one thing to be at school and doing it, but to be at home and talking to this person and we don't even know, that's a problem.
I'm just so upset. We thought this 5 minutes that we were spending with her every day was enough. But you know what? It's never enough. We can't figure out how we're going to spend enough time to keep this from ever happening again.
Well, we looked at the video. Did you see any behaviors that you were doing that may have contributed? Now, I'm not saying it's your fault at all, because the adult in this situation is clearly wrong. But I'm just wondering, maybe there was something that made her a little bit more likely to seek out some type of attention from other people?
Well, I think we give her enough attention. We are going to do more, but sometimes I think my wife, she just on that phone constantly and wasn't paying attention.
Well, let me clarify this. I want each person to look at themselves and see. So the pronoun is I. Is there anything I could have done differently? Because otherwise we'll just get into blaming and that goes nowhere. So is there anything either of you saw in the video that maybe you could have done differently that may have helped? Now it doesn't mean it would have, because you know a perpetrator is going to find a way. But is there any way that you could have changed, any behaviors that you could have changed?
Well, I was in my man cave a lot, hanging out with my buddies, and I admit that. It's brand new, though. You can understand that. We had to come in and have some fun at some point.
So how long have you had the man cave?
We just built it a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and I guess for me, I'm always on the internet, and I just assumed because she was sitting there with me on her phone that it was okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been caught up with the internet yourself, and you've been in your man cave. Any other things that you saw in the video that?
One of the things that I didn't like that I saw in the video was Lauren was sitting there playing with her little cell phone games. Well, we took care of that because we took cell phone, telephone, internet,
Everything.
computer, anything with a plug. I even unplugged her lamp just in case there was a camera in there.
Well, wait a minute. Before we go that far, I really want us to key in on that video because I saw some telling things. I saw that Dad was asking you repeatedly, let's go to the park, let's go do something, let's, enjoy ourselves. Did you guys ever do any of that?
No, we didn't.
Not really. We wanted to.
It's just not enough time in the day. I mean, just trying to keep up with everything we have going on. Yes, I do have several friends on Facebook, on Twitter, and I have to keep up with them. And I just assume that, again, she's sitting there with me, I'm doing what I'm doing, she's fine, she's safe, we're at home.
So there's 501 friends you have.
Correct.
I mean, 500, and if you join her, it's one. Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm busy hanging out with my buddies. We go down to the man cave. We might watch sports, but sometimes we get into discussions about the Bible and have Bible studies. So it's not like that's wrong.
Okay. Let me ask you guys a question. I want you to kind of look that way. Turn your head that way. I want you to look that way. Would you say this is the direction your family was going, maybe?
Away from each other, you mean?
Yeah, pretty much. That's a good way to say it. I wasn't going to say it, but that's a very good way to look at that. That maybe you're going in so many different ways that you're not actually touching each other's lives.
I guess you're right about that. We need to pay more attention to each other than we did.
So now I know this is a shock and it's very scary and very frightening. And again, it's not at all your fault. That's not at all what we're talking about. We're looking at from here moving forward that this doesn't happen again. So we have to make sure that whatever behaviors that may be going on within the family that could contribute to this, that we want to change those behaviors. So what did you do once you found out about the grown person talking to your child? What did you do?
Well, I got mad, first of all, and if the police ever tell me who it was, oh man. But that's all I could do. I was so upset. I felt hurt. I really felt a little bit guilty, I didn't plan for it to happen, but I see that now, if I'm not paying attention, anything can happen with all this technology. We have to be more careful.
Okay, so you guys contacted the police. Did you do anything else?
Well, for one, she's not allowed to go anywhere unless I go with her or unless he's allowed to go with her. So she's just grounded, I guess.
Well, I wouldn't call that a grounding. I would consider that to be another step, safety step, because we don't know how much she has disclosed to this grown person. And we certainly don't want her saying she's going to the store and this person's going to meet her there. So we're not going to look at it as a grounding, but just to make sure that she is safe. And that's really critical right now, more than teaching her lessons, more than making sure that she does what we tell her to do. It's very important that she is kept safe. She's just a 10-year-old. She's just a little girl.
Safety is the most important thing. And again, I just feel sad about how bad this could have really turned out. It was a real blessing that we caught it before anything extra happened. These people out here are just crazy. You have to watch your children now. You can't just assume because they're in the room, which she was in her room, we were at home, you just can't assume that's safe anymore. So we're gonna have to do a little better, be more diligent about keeping up on what's exactly going on.
Okay, yes, I think so.
But how do you do that? I mean, she was sitting next to me. She's in the home, and yet she still gets exposed to so much stuff.
Right, and I think that's the beauty of the internet, and that's the danger of the internet as well. What kind of changes would you like to see in your family as a result of this incident? Well, before, when you were coming in, we were talking about creating pleasant memories anyway, right? So what kind of changes would you like to see?
What do you think?
Well, for one, I think I need to be more aware of who she's around. And that's not just with the internet, but that's also the people who enter our home. Being mindful of who's there, their background, if they have kids, a little bit about them too. Because again, we never know. We never know who we're bringing into our homes.
So you would like to know who she's interacting with on the internet. You like to know who her friends are and who the families of her friends, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and we're not talking about internet friends. We're just talking about school friends, church friends, all kinds of friends, right? Okay. So
I really would like to see friends in person. If she has different friends, they come over to the house, we get to know who they are, get to know who their parents are. It doesn't have to be all this on the computer or texting all the time. Kids now, they're sitting right next to each other texting one another.
Yeah.
There needs to be more social interaction person to person. That's what I want to see happen.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about how we can make that happen then, okay? So let's look at some strategies. The first thing is we're going to address safety issues first, and you're doing that already, so you're one step ahead of the game. You've taken her computer from her or her cell phone, and you are making sure that she traveled with you and she's not going places alone by herself for right now. And you're also looking at getting to know her friends. So I think you're already ahead of the game, and you should be pretty proud of yourselves for taking those steps already. So now we're going to monitor all electronics. So we're going to make sure that when she's on the computer, it's where we all can see it, and that we come by and make sure that we look at what she has on the computer. We may even sit down and train her about what she can go on. She can't, and of course they have those children monitoring things on the computer, so you can find out about that. You can have specific time set aside to use the computer, and then her cell phone can be set up where it's just the calls can only come to you or to an emergency phone number. So
I like that.
You can make sure that she's not going to like it, but it's important that you take safety is very important. We're not even talking about consequences or punishments, because this is so important, and she has to get the message that this is a very important thing. Okay, and then let's go back to our primary goal. Let's create some pleasant memories so that she will be attracted within the family. Now listen, you look this way, and you look that way, and that the family are looking at each other, and that we find in each other the joy that we're looking for, okay? And so that may extend to our extended family members. We can have family fun night with them or with her little friends, but we want to start creating those positive memories, and that will make it a little bit more difficult for Lauren to reach outside the family for the socialization that she desires and that she wants.
Can we lock her up in her room? How's that for safety?
You know what? We all want to lock our children in their
Yes,
rooms
we
from
do.
time to time, but I think that would get you in trouble, so maybe we won't.
As long as you have a key to open the door, what's the problem?
Okay, because I don't think that's a good idea to do that. So locking her in her room is not a good choice, but showing her how to use the internet is a very good choice. Showing her and limiting her cell phone use, that's a really good choice. Also just spending time, but giving her the type of time, not just where we're just sitting next to her, but where we're actually maybe doing things, putting a tent up or going fishing together or spa day or whatever, but something that's going to create a happy memory. So you know what that implies is Lauren has to like it. So it can't be something I want to do, but she doesn't want to do. You know, so from judging from the video, she does not want to be outside with bugs.
No, she doesn't.
So we probably, outside stuff may not be the #1 thing that we go to for right away, okay?
Well, those
So-
sound like good ideas. I think we can try those.
Yeah, I think we can.
And then the next thing I'm going to suggest is please, 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 don't be too hard on yourselves. I mean, people out there are just looking, trying to find a way into children and vulnerable, even vulnerable adults if they can. So you cannot just beat yourselves up and don't think you're going to be able to spend 24 hours, 7 days a week, every minute with her. That's not going to happen either. We have to fortify her, build her up, give her a sense of belongingness, and so that she may not desire to go outside the home to find the attention and the love that she's looking for, okay?
This sounds like a real opportunity for prayer. I'll tell you that much.
It really is an opportunity for prayer. And prayer together by yourselves, and then you two with Lauren as well. Keep the prayer going and stuff. And so, do you have any more questions?
No, not at this time.
Okay, then. So then we're going to look to see each other next week. And I'm very sorry this has happened. I know it's very scary and very frightening.
Yes.
But you guys are going to work together and pray together. And the Lord is going to fix all of this. So, and just do your strategies, and let's see what happens next week, okay?
Okay, thank
All
you
right,
so
thanks.
much.
You're welcome. Hi, so how's everything going at home, especially since the internet incident with Lauren? How's she doing?
Well, I will say that she is talking to us a little bit more. Initially, it wasn't that way. You know, she wouldn't talk to us. She was still upset with us because we took her phone, but she's doing a lot better now.
Yeah, she was really mad at first. She was mad at her friends for telling. She was mad at us for taking her phone. And she was mad at the police when we called the police. But we had to let her know safety comes first, and that we didn't care that she was upset about things, that we're concerned to make sure that she is safe at home.
Yeah.
Yes, that is very important. Well, let's take a look at the video. As always, we really appreciate you letting us come into your home so that we can use it for our therapy session. So let's take a look at the video.
I can't wait to go on our family vacation this year. Last year in the mountains was really nice. I remember when Dad was driving down that mountain, it was really scary.
Oh, baby girl, I had it all under control.
Yeah, right. But I did enjoy the trip, though. The part I liked most was shopping and buying matching family T-shirts.
Well, I enjoyed the fishing the best. And remember that fish got stuck in Lauren's hair? She was jumping around screaming. That was so hilarious.
It was.
You even got it on video, Ma.
I did.
Really funny, Dad. But I think that this year at the beach will be fun because we get to go swimming, scuba diving, and finding seashells.
I planned for us to have a sunset dinner. I think it would be nice if we took time and had a beachside dinner at a very expensive restaurant.
Well, I tell you what, I'm just going to relax on the beach and not worry about work.
Yeah.
This is going to be the best vacation ever.
Yeah.
Well, that's quite an improvement. So Lauren certainly looks like she's talking to you in that video right there.
Yeah, she is.
She's gotten much better. You know, we've been working with her and talking to her some more. So, yeah, she's coming out of her little situation.
Okay, I just want to hit this internet just a little bit more. Now, looking back on it and looking at this video, do you feel that there's, how do you feel about the incident now?
Well, I think back then we did allow her to spend a little bit too much time at her friend's home. And now we're just inviting them to our home if they want to spend time together.
Okay.
Also, we weren't spending enough time with her,
Yeah.
so we've changed, and now we're spending more time personally with her instead of just sending her to her room to play on the computer.
Okay, so we're going to talk about that. Which safety strategies have worked best for you guys so far?
Well, the one I like best is taking the phone from her. I'm also trying to talk to her about safety and about using the internet responsibly.
And another thing is just being able to monitor her friends on Facebook and all these other social medias, you know, allowing her to have access to some things, but it has to be guided through us.
So you guys are still monitoring her pretty closely with it?
Correct.
I like what you said, something about having her friends over a little bit more. Can you tell me something about that?
Well, one of the things we've tried to do is just invite their friends, her friends over, as well as their family.
Okay.
So we've gotten a chance to spend time with the moms and dads of her friends. So by forming those relationships, it just helps a little bit more to get to know the kids better and seeing what we're exposing her to.
Now, the parent whom daughter talked to about Lauren,
Correct.
do you know her now?
I do, yes.
Okay.
And we have a great relationship.
Oh,
yeah.
that's very, very good.
Also, what I do too to add to more togetherness between the whole family, I take Lauren out with me. We go to the park, we go to the zoo. All three of us will go out together more often. That way we know who she's around, and that again adds to the safety factor. Instead of just telling her to go play, you know, we go out with her, and like my wife said, we know who her friends are more than we used to.
What else are you guys doing? I know you have the safety things in place, which is really good. Are there any other things that you're doing to help Lauren kind of feel a little bit more happy?
We have family nights. We're able to talk more about things. Me personally, I spend a little bit more time with her. We do our little pedicures, and we talk about school, and I talk about work. We talk about even her aspirations and what she's planning on doing in the future. So I think it's drawn us a little bit closer, spending this quality time together.
Okay.
And like I said, I focus more on safety. So I have little safety talks with her and let her know about stranger danger and calling 911, or if she feels threatened to go to a police station or the fire department where they have safe places. I don't tell her too much because she's still just a young girl, but I try and keep that on her mind to just be careful out there.
Okay.
Yeah. And another thing is personal space. We've talked about that a lot as far as her comfort level, understanding that, you know, people should only be so close to you, you know, physically.
Okay.
And just like making sure she understands what that looks like.
How are you addressing this from a spiritual perspective? Are you doing anything spiritually with this?
Oh, definitely. So we pray every morning. We have our devotion. We are taking more time during the Sabbath hours to have Bible studies and address a lot of the issues that she's faced with, because those same stories are in the Bible and we can apply them to our lives.
Okay.
And also we enrolled her in the Pathfinders group at church.
Yeah.
So now she has friends from church that she hangs out with, and we know that the Pathfinders are teaching her about nature, teaching her about productivity, about being a real benefit to the world that she lives in, as opposed to just getting on the computer and just, what do you call it, surfing the net.
Yes.
Instead of that, she's actually learning how to grow plants in gardens, take care of animals, and that has really made a big difference in her whole attitude. It's great.
You're monitoring her use of the internet and technology, and then you're monitoring her friends more, and you're becoming more connected with her friends as well, huh?
Right.
Oh, okay. It seems like you guys are putting a lot of effort, a lot of good effort into helping Lauren. Let's talk about creating those memories now. That's where we were intentional. It's kind of like we're back on track to where we were at first. And sometimes it takes a crisis to get us back on track. So let's talk about what we're doing, or what you're doing on a regular basis to create good family memories.
Well, like my wife said, we go out different places together. We go out to dinner. We always take our video camera to the Pathfinder events so we can film her marching and holding the flag and those type of things. And of course, the church has plenty of functions with the Adventist Youth Department, the Family Life Department. There's always something going on.
Okay, so you guys are taking in more of those activities as well, right?
And we also do our nature walks as well. When we close out the Sabbath, we go on a nature walk and we talk about God's creation.
Okay.
She was a little antsy about getting out there with the bugs, but yeah, she came around, and you know, we're working it out.
Okay.
Sometimes we even go to the museum or even to the zoo.
And one of the nicest things too is that we do, like my wife said, we watch TV together. So we always tune in to Dare to Dream Network and also 3ABN, because they have terrific programs for kids.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That is really good. You know, I wanted to ask you, how are you two doing now? I mean, emotionally. You were really upset, angry, and frustrated.
Oh, yeah.
Exhausted and feeling guilty.
You weren't sleeping at nighttime. How are you now?
Well, I feel more relaxed. I'm more alert, I'll tell you that. I'm more alert to what danger there are, and becoming more alert to what's out there has helped me to learn about things a little more. So I've been doing some reading up on safety on the internet, etc. And then another thing that we do as a family together, we like to sit down and watch Dare to Dream Network or 3ABN Broadcasting, because they have some terrific family programming.
Yes.
Okay, that sounds really good. So you guys are really covering the bases. What I really like to know is, how are you two doing? The last time you guys were very, very upset about what had happened, and rightfully so. So you were very angry, you was frustrated. How are you doing today?
Well, I was really furious about the whole thing, but I've calmed down, you know, I've been praying about it and done some more research on internet safety. So that's really been helping me to just realize what happened and then do what I can to prevent it from happening in the future.
Yeah. And for me, I just felt so guilty, you know, not being able to be there for her to protect her, but then also just feeling as if she didn't want to come to me. But I, you know, through prayer, definitely, the Lord has just shown me that outside of what I can do for my child, He is the ultimate supplier, right? And so He protects us even when parents can't.
That's
So I've
right.
learned to just rest in that and
Very
trust Him
good.
for that.
That's really
Amen.
great. That is great. So I want to give you just a few more strategies, okay? With some you may already have. I want you to continue to be intentional about building a relationship. Whether you realize it or not, when you spend time with your child, like going fishing and going to Pathfinders and staying there to cheer her on, that's building a relationship with her. And that is really the best and most safest thing we can do for our children, is to have a relationship. Like you said, she likes to talk to you now, and that's very important, and you're having fun with her. So that's very important. And then I want you to pay attention to the new people who are coming into her life. So when she says a new name, then you listen. Pay close attention. You can ask questions, but be careful. Don't ask questions in such a way that it may make her shut down, like, who is that? We may not want to do that. How did you meet that person? Oh, is this a person at your class? Open-ended questions so that she can expound on who this person is. If you feel it's something that's not good, you don't have to clue her in right then. You can wait and kind of listen more and more for the information. Do a little bit of background check for yourselves. And then you can stay close to her. And some people think that as a child gets older, like teenagers, then we let them go. That's when you really need to hold on to them. You know, a lot of people can't wait to get give the children their little driver's licenses so they can be free.
Yeah.
I'm not so good that all teenagers need all of that freedom at one time, but you definitely want to stay close emotionally. And I hear you guys saying that you're doing praying. Make sure that you help Lauren to establish her relationship with God so that the Spirit of God just can speak to her too. Do you have any questions or anything that you'd like to add?
I don't have any questions. Do you?
No, not at this time.
Well, it's really great to see that you guys are feeling a lot better. I can only imagine how scary that was for you.
Yeah.
And I do want to commend you for talking to the police, calling them, because often people just minimize this. I mean, this could have been a major problem, but I think you did a great job at stopping it at the very beginning, and that goes a long way. So we're probably going to have a closing session in a couple of weeks. I'll get back with you on the exact date. Thank you for coming in, and I really appreciate you guys. Parents, it's easy to get distracted. There are so many things clamoring for your time. Children are very vulnerable. They need your protection. Any good thing can be used for evil in the wrong hands. An inspired writer, Ellen White, wrote, "Press together, press together, press together." She was talking about believers in Christ. How much more shall we do that for our children? They need a loving, guiding hand to keep them safe. Everyone who meets your child is not a safe person. So we want to make sure that you spend as much time with your children as you possibly can. Make sure that you are creating good, happy memories. You have to discipline, but don't let discipline be the only thing you do with your children. There'll be a time in a day when they will have their own children, and they'll remember all of the good times that you have shared with them. Make this a great day.